Hey guys, happy Sunday. Hope everybody is doing well. So I'm so happy, guys, that I got to sit down and film for you. I have been busy. Before I start with the topic of today, I just want to say a few things that I think are important. The first one will be that if I do not reply to you and you had a question or your message requested a reply. If I do not reply within 24 hours, that will mean that I have somehow missed your message. Sometimes I don't get a notification, or sometimes if I have a lot of messages, I tend to miss some of them. So basically, if that happens and it's been longer than 24 hours, please just send the same message again so I can see it and reply. I'm saying this because recently one of my former clients sent me photos from her wedding, which, as you know, I love seeing, and I have somehow missed her message. And luckily, she emailed me, so I got to see the photos. So, just so you know, a quick reminder. Another thing I want to mention is that again, I have been extremely busy with revamping the astrology spell, so I haven't been posting in the community. I already know that you guys have your own group, but I have finally posted something today. I remember to. And if any of you want to post something about your results there as well, you're always free to do that because, as you know, it's a lot easier for me if you do it yourself because a lot of the times I can't even take the screenshot because it has too many private informations, and then it just when I blur everything, it just doesn't make sense. And yeah, that's the issue. The second thing I want to mention, well, the third thing I want to mention is I want to remind you guys that spells do not keep people binded to you. They do not force people to stay with you. So spells are used to give you a second chance to give pushes to your target to give you a second chance, but every single person has free will and they're a person of their own. So if you do a love spell and it's successful, it does not mean, sorry, that you will stay with this person forever, that this person will somehow stay with you because of the spell, that they will be under the spell and they will just stay forever. That's not how it works. So reminding everybody that the rest is up to you, and it's going to be, of course, work, just like anything else. I have actually in the past posted in the community about this when I got a message, like when somebody came back together and then broke up again. And the problem with these connections is that people don't tend to tell me, hey, the spell worked. They don't stay in touch. And then when everything falls again, then they will message me and say, oh, the spell worked. But now, and that's something that actually happened recently, which is why I'm talking about this. I haven't been able to take a screenshot because it has too much private information and it is a really specific reason that, obviously would be um, quite revealing, maybe potentially. So I wasn't able to do that. But there was a client where we did a skull spell to change the ex's mind. And it was about something that was a really huge thing. And I can't say what it was, obviously, because I don't want to invade anybody's privacy. But I did a skull spell and didn't hear from the client ever again, and that was a while back. And then the client texted and said, hey, the spell worked and everything was great for a while, but then the same problem arose and the same thing happened. So this is the thing. If there is some huge reason that is not something that we can, permanently solve, this issue can happen again if you guys don't work on it. And of course, on some things you can't really work if somebody just has different, choices. And What I recommend in situations like this, obviously, in this case, maybe the target needed a bit more work just to stabilize this change. And the client just has not kept in touch, has not informed me of anything. And, there was nothing I could do at the time. And just reminding everybody that if this happens later on, it will be harder to bring them back again, because every time it's going to be more hard, because once you break up, and then the second time, and then the person gets more stubborn because they're like, okay, it hasn't worked out twice, it hasn't worked out three times, so there is a lot more stubbornness every single time, and we have a harder time with magic. Okay, guys, now let's go into the thing that I wanted to talk about today. And this is actually not related to magic, but it's just something that a lot of people confuse. And I just wanted to inform you guys of this in case that anybody else is doing that, or will in the future, or did in the past. I think it's very important to know this difference. So, in the initial stages of a relationship or dating or like talking to somebody, a lot of people will confuse anxiety with chemistry. Yeah, I bet that some of you did not know that. So, a lot of people will think that their anxious attachment is actually chemistry. And the reason why they feel like they can't live without this person is because there's so much chemistry between them. But usually it will not be chemistry, it will be anxiety. So, let's kind of talk about the differences. So, chemistry is really hard to describe with words, and I bet that we all felt it once in our life. So it is very passionate chemistry. We will have butterflies in our stomach, and we will be nervous, but it will not be excessive worry or fear or overthinking. You will just be a little bit nervous, that, excitement. It will be nervous but also excited. When you go to see your person, or where you see them coming, you will get that butterflies because you'll be just excited. So it's very different than anxiety. And like I said, a lot of people will confuse these two. So if you're feeling like you're gonna die without this person, like this person basically is controlling your mood. So if they don't text back right away, you get worried, your mood just gets down. Or if you are worrying all the time, where are they? What are they doing? Are they with somebody else? If you're having a lot of fears around the connection, if the only thing that kind of keeps you stable and safe is when they validate you, or when they text you, or when they talk to you, and on all other times, if they don't, you're just thinking about that and waiting for that, then it is actually anxious attachment, and it is not chemistry. It's very important to know the difference. Now, why are you confusing anxiety for chemistry? That is a whole different question. So the reason you're confusing it, and you think that this is really great, this means that you have such crazy chemistry, and that, this is your person. The reason comes from your childhood, from your parents or caregivers, basically from your family, because what we crave, or what we recognize as, our loved one, the one, is basically what is familiar, what feels familiar. So it sounds quite messed up, but basically you're just trying to recreate the situation, the emotional situation that you had when you were a kid. And even if it's something that is bad for you or hurtful in some way, it is what's familiar to you. So this is why you are drawn to it. That's the only reason. And you can confuse that for chemistry or love, but it's actually not. So it's not that you crave anxiety or chaos or toxicity. You do not. You do not get off of it. What is happening is only that it feels familiar, and that's the only thing that is the problem. So I hope this is clear because I think it's very important to understand this difference, if because some people here are, looking for new love or healing, and then they will be moving on, and there's all kinds of situations, obviously. So it's very important to be prepared and to be the best version of yourself next time, right? Anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. I love you guys so much, and we're gonna have a wonderful new week filled with magic. Bye.